I'm hitting the
Going on. Love
live.
that.
We are live. Welcome to the Kindness Hour with Nicole J. Phillips, but also dun dun dun
Oh, hello.
Nathan.
Hi. Hi.
Hi Nathan, good to see you.
Good to see you.
I'm gonna put
Thanks for
this.
having me on here again. I like hanging out with you.
Well, I love hanging out with you. And the funny thing is, this is your jam. You are part of Lost and Found. This is your thing. And, it's like your world, and I'm just living in it. There's a song there, I think, somewhere, but
Sure that exists. Actually, I know it does, but I don't know what the song is, so that's embarrassing.
yeah, I don't either. I'm not embarrassed. I'm beyond. We are in COVID time, so we are beyond embarrassed time. Okay. We're all
Mhm.
giving grace, doing what we can do.
My shame level is gone now because my wife decided she's going to start doing some TikToking, and that's now my life. So we're there. So I'm now the subject of many I'm. It's always dangerous in the house. If I walk around, I have to watch my levels of ridiculousness because it might make the internet. Uh,
Probably going to go viral. Yeah, exactly. Well, welcome everybody to the Kindness Hour. I am super excited to be here and talking about my favorite thing, which is how to draw more kindness into your life, how to become a magnet for kindness. And Nathan and I were just talking about levels of shame. And so to start out here, I want everyone who is watching right now to look down and see what they have on the lower half of their bodies, because there's been this thing, Nathan, I don't know if you've seen it, but where people who are broadcasting live from their homes sometimes realize that they don't have appropriate lower level clothing on. And they don't realize that people can see that sometimes when the camera moves. So, Nathan, you're up first.
I mean,
Stand up and show us what's
I'm
on.
wearing, I'm wearing shorts. I'm not
Are
gonna
you
lie.
wearing shorts? Let's see
I'm
it.
wearing, I'm wearing shorts, not gym shorts. I tried to dress for this. Oh, where's my camera? There it is. See, here, shorts.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I'm wearing real clothes, sort of.
Good
I mean,
job.
I'm wearing shorts, but they're like not like gym shorts. I might have did that this morning though. Hung out in my robe. Still down. It's still down here.
That's it. Yeah. I am proud that from the waist up, I look like a normal human, or a normal, my everyday working human life. But from the waist down, I'll stand up now because it's my turn to show the shame. And it's let's see, can you see this? I'm wearing red sweatpants, but I'll tell you what, because it is cold here a little bit. These are my furry fuzzy ones.
Ooh.
Yeah, aren't they great? Yeah. I found them on sale someplace, and they're burgundy, which is Northern State University colors, which is where my husband coaches. So anyway, okay.
That's just that's just a good buy right there.
Yeah, I agree. So everyone who's watching right now, did not turn up to see what, Nathan and I have in the lower halves of our bodies, but
Okay.
and well, they might have, yeah. But I just wanted to start out with that because I don't ever, 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 and I know Nathan, you don't either. I don't ever want to give the impression that I'm like the queen of quarantine. Like I'm just so good at it that I show up and like check it out. Like every day I shower and every day I put on makeup and every day I put on clothes and and I'm doing all the perfect mom stuff. Like nope. I'm giving it a 5. Some people give life a 10, in the midst of quarantine. I'm giving it a 5, and a 5 feels good. So if that's you out there right now, thank you for just carving out this hour to be with us. And we are not judging you on whether you've showered in a month and a half or not. We don't care. We are just so happy that you would come and be here today. Right, Nathan?
Yes, I'm very happy for everyone to be here.
Yeah. Okay, Nathan, I'm going to put up your special banner.
Oh boy. Hi.
There you go. Now, would you tell everybody about my favorite organization, Lost and Found, and what you're doing? And
That's so kind of you to lie. It's so nice.
no lies.
Yeah, like I said, my name's Nathan. I'm with the Lost and Found Association. So what we do is we work specifically with college students. Right now in COVID, we work with anyone and everyone who wants to watch and hang out with us for some online programming. But we focus in on resilience specifically as part of a preventative mental health factor. We want to make sure that students and just people in general have these tools and these communities and just an environment of support. So when life gets hard, which it will at some point, sorry, don't mean to burst anyone's bubble, but something's going to happen, whether it's something like a flat tire or, the loss of a relationship, something's going to throw you a curveball. And so we really focus in on the resilience piece and giving students specifically right now skills that they can put into play and like I say, communities of support. And we're also doing research at these campuses to figure out what's going well, what isn't, and because every campus is going to be doing something just awesome, and there's going to be some gaps potentially where we can step in and just assist as need be. But then also we get to see what's working overall, because the mental health landscape is changing. We're going to see a huge shift, I think, when this is all said and done, when this pandemic is past us. And so we want to be a part of moving that wheel forward. We don't want to be just stuck in doing the same thing all the time. If it's working, great, we're going to keep doing it. But if it's not, we want to be part of the solution. So that's where we focus in on. We do some advocacy work as well and large scale events. And right now we're in the business of online programming on Facebook Live. It's been
great stuff. Do you want to talk about what you have coming up this week or next week?
Sure. Yeah. Well, actually, this is our last week of programming for a little bit, and then we're going to take a week off and focus on some career work for students. There has been some stress about careers and jobs with internships and summer jobs and things kind of going away. So we're going to try to work with students on that. That's starting that second week of May. But this week yet, we have the Kindness Hour today. Tomorrow, we're going to be hearing from a mental health speaker. His name is Josh Rivedal. He is the founder of the I'm Possible Project. And he's just got a cool story. I've had Josh speak at a lot of the universities I worked at. And when he's in person, he does kind of like a one-man show because he's a theater guy. And that's kind of fun. So I don't know what we're going to get, but I'm sure it's going to be great. But it's about how to crush it and be mentally well during hard times. That's tomorrow at 1. Friday, we have a Facebook Live, another budget seminar. So even if you don't have to be a student, if you want to know how to be budget savvy, that's happening on Friday at 10 a.m. And then on Sunday, we have our final yoga nidra session online at 8 p.m. So you can find all that on our Facebook page. And then we're posting stuff regularly on our Instagram with tips and tricks. And I almost said trips, but that could be something. I don't know. Tips and tricks. And, all sorts of stuff there. So just check us out. It's all our handle for social media is @ResilientToday. So we're living online right now, like just about everyone else. So.
Yep. And on Sunday, I know because I'm going, you've got a special virtual run. So
yeah. I forgot about that. Oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed. USD, University of South Dakota, that was where Lost&Found originally started, where it was founded, where it started with a group of college freshmen, which is kind of cool. But it's called the Nikki's Run, and it's a 5K run walk, and then we're doing a virtual one. So we're going to be.
Not me.
What's that?
I'm not the Nikki we're talking about.
No, not you. No, this is someone else. Another Nikki.
In honor of another young woman named Nikki.
Yeah, she was she passed away due to suicide. So it started as something to honor her, and we continue to do that at USD to bring awareness, but also to honor people. And unfortunately, I say unfortunately because I think we all probably know someone or been affected by someone who's committed suicide. And so we hope by stepping into the mental health space like we are and giving people tools for resilience that no one's going to consider self-harm or suicide as an option, but we want to honor those people who have gone, and we want to acknowledge that so people can run in honor of someone for this run. My wife and I are going to sign up. We're not going to run because that seems like a lot of work, but we are going to walk. So I have to sign up. So thanks for that reminder, because we just talked about that today and I should probably do that.
Yeah, we need to get on that. Yeah. The Kindness team has signed up. We will be walking individually, but we will be walking in unity with you. So, hey, we've got some people that have joined us. Let's see who's here today. We've got Lisa Hunter has checked in, and Barbara Dunst has checked in. Barbara's a friend of my mom's in Florida, so that's fun. And Joy and Brent Frazier, the mayor of Pelican Rapids. Again, celebrity sighting. Tanya, Lorinda, Kirsten, Marie, Molly. Oh, Molly Schmidt. I spoke at their in Brookfield at St. Dominic's Parish. That was really neat. So, and Barb Gross is here. And Holly's here. So this is fun. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad that you're joining us today. Week 1, we talked about, now I got to move over to my banner thing. So week 1, we talked about perspective. And I showed you this picture. It was of a black dot. And we talked about the black dots in our lives, but how there's also white space. So really the homework there was to think about what you're thinking about and then reject and replace the negative thoughts for thoughts that serve you better. And then week 2, we talked about the science behind kindness and some of that research and what happens in our bodies when we give, receive, or even witness an act of kindness. And we talked about how important it is to make sure that you're filling your social media, your anything that comes into your brain, you want to make sure you are filling that with goodness, because you're going to get the hard news. You're going to get the news that you're getting on TV or in the newspaper, things like that. So we want to make sure that we balance that out with, whether it's videos of random acts of kindness or cute puppies or whatever that is, that kind of lightens the mood for us and gets the serotonin flowing in our bodies again. So that's really important. We talked about that in week 2. And here we are in week 3. And we titled this Just Smile. And it's about becoming a magnet for kindness. And, isn't that just the case sometimes? We just feel like we need to be loved. We need someone to notice us. We just need to be, and it's not even in a needy sort of, childish way. It's just that everybody loves to be appreciated and noticed. And we want to know that we're filling a purpose on this earth. And I think that when we can kind of give that out to others in really subtle ways, we find that we become a magnet for that. And it's really cool how that works. So I have 6 ways to become a magnet for kindness. And we're going to start with the first one, which is this: expect people to be kind. And Nathan, I'm going to pop you up here for just 1 second. And if you see any questions from anyone, Nathan, because it's a whole lot easier for Nathan to see your questions than it is for me. So Nathan, if you see questions, would you just shout out, hey, Nicole, Nick, stop, whatever. Because I want everyone to be able to give their questions or give an opinion about something or whatever that is. Okay, Nathan?
Sounds great. And so if you come back to me and I'm looking down at my computer, don't sass me like you did last time.
It's my job to sass you. Come on. It's my job to call you out and try to get you a little more pink in the cheeks. But, it doesn't work so often because you're such a cool guy. Okay. All right. Well, we're going back. Expect people to be kind. All right. So you want to hear a fun story? I have 2 friends and they both went to the same post office. Not at the same time, but they were frequent visitors to the same post office. And one friend went into the post office the first time to mail a package. And the clerk at the post office was, let's say, grumpy. Okay. I remember my friend telling me the story and she just was, they're so mean and they were so short with her and, something wasn't addressed right. So they had her go to the back of the line and wait again. And she left that post office feeling like she just had this big negative interaction and she wasn't sure why, because when she walked into the post office, all she wanted to do was mail this. So the second time she went to that post office, she walked in and she was dreading going. And when she found out she was going to get the same postal clerk, she was like, oh, that guy is terrible. I don't want to be in his line. So she went through and, instead of being her sweet, normal, bubbly self, she was kind of like, here, and she was kind of bracing, I think, in her facial demeanor, but also in her body language for someone to just kind of be unpleasant to her. So that happened the second time. She goes in the third time and she ends up with a different clerk. And yet it was the same sort of thing. She had walked in very much on the defensive that she was going to have to deal with someone who was unpleasant because now she's got this bad feeling about the post office. So she has this bad feeling. She gets a different clerk, and this clerk didn't send her to the back of the line, but my friend took it as this clerk being a little snippy. Okay. So same post office. I have another friend who goes there all the time for business. And I said to her, have you noticed at this post office that the clerks are particularly unkind? And she said, what? No, not at all. She said, she goes, the first time I went in there, she said, I know it was just before lunchtime and the clerk that I was dealing with had to have been starving, and she said, I just made a joke about how, I have an extra kind bar in my purse if you want it. And she said, and then he kind of laughed. And she said, I've been in there other times where they just look weary and they've been on their feet all day long. And she said, I can't imagine, and she said, I even said to the clerk, how does your back feel after a day like this? Because it's got to be tough. And so when I say expect people to be kind, it's not because they're automatically then going to be kind to you. It's because when we greet someone expecting them to be kind to us, we put out in our body language, in our facial expressions, a vibe that says, hi, I come in friendship. Nathan, what's that? I thought there's a movie quote about that. Like, hi, I come in peace. Isn't that what like
peace, yeah.
The aliens say? Like,
yeah,
I come in peace. Is that from a thing or am I making that up?
I mean, I know it's from a thing, but what the thing is, I don't know.
Okay. Well, if anyone out there knows what the thing is, I'm very curious to know.
Lots of things, I think. I think it's from pretty much any movie with aliens. I think it would probably say something like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I come in peace. So anyway, when we expect people to be kind, we are saying to them without even opening our mouth, I come in peace. When we walk into a room and we are nervous or we have a really high level of anxiety and we're on the defensive, that's what our body language says. And it's what our face says. And it says, I'm on guard. I'm a little bit afraid that you are going to hurt me or not be nice to me. And so, you notice when I said, hi, I come in peace, my face does this, it smiles. And when I say I'm on guard, my face automatically I get that little furrowy thing there. And so people will respond to our facial expressions as well. So we're going to get back to that part of it in just a second. But when I say smile, expect people to be kind, it really makes all the difference in the world. Nathan, have you ever had an experience where, you needed to intentionally expect somebody to be kind, or does that bring up any thoughts of any stories you want to share?
I think that I can tell when I'm in a bad mood or in a space where I expect things to not go well, or I think things are going to be poor, that I just perceive everything that way. When I start thinking that this is going to be terrible, I'm going to hate it. I tend to hate it. I tend to find something that goes wrong, and so I can't think of anything specific, but I just know an overall mentality. Like if I'm in a good mood and I think things are doing the best, like I can wait in line at the drive-through for 20 minutes. But if I'm in a bad mood, it's waiting in line for 20 minutes. It's like, what is wrong with all these people? Are they doing their job? So a lot of that is, that perspective. So I guess I wouldn't say I can think of a specific, but I know that as a general rule of thumb, if I'm in a positive place, I see the world in a lot different light than when I'm in a negative place.
And doesn't that connect back with what we talked about in week 1, which is think about what you're thinking about. What are you allowing into your brain to sit there? And what sort of way does that then, make you appear to others and have you appear to yourself. So yes, I think that's a really, really, really good point. Thanks, Nathan. All right, we're going to slide Nathan out. Boom. Okay. Yeah, thank you. I know he doesn't like to sit on screen when I'm just talking, which why would you want to? So I get it totally. All right, here's number 2. Look for the silver lining in every situation. Look for the silver lining in every situation. And, Mr. Rogers, I love Mr. Rogers, love me some Mr. Rogers. He had a mom that had really great advice for him. And he said when he was a boy and terrible things would happen in the world and they would hear about them and see them, his mom would tell him, look for the helpers. And I feel like that's so true in every aspect of our life. Whatever your black dot is that is, right in front of you, there is a silver lining to it. And I like to say, my favorite color is silver lining, because when we focus on that, it changes our mindset. So, when you've lost someone close to you and you are going through grief and things just seem so confusing and a life was taken too soon or whatever that looks like, the silver lining are those people who show up. We are each other's silver lining. And when people show up and they send a card or they send a text or they show up in person when they can, those are our helpers. And there's a type of love that lives in that space of that silver lining. And so regardless of whether it's, if it's a financial trouble, we're raising kids and we've lost a job and we're, we didn't pay the light bill and the lights aren't going on. We can look at that 2 different ways. We can look at that as, I'm a bad mom and this is an embarrassment or that sort of thing. Or we can look at it as, I am teaching my kids really, really valuable lessons right now about how to be compassionate toward people when they go through tough times. When I was a kid, we were on food stamps for a little while. And it was wild because my mom was working 3 jobs, and still wasn't, really able to make ends meet a lot of times. And so for this short period of time, we relied on help from the government. And I remember it was embarrassing to go to the grocery store for her and for me to go to the grocery store and pay with those food stamps. And if we would sit in that spot of pity, then nothing good comes of it. The dark black round dot stays that way. But when we can look and search out the silver linings, we see that, I have such a heart for people who are struggling financially or any other way, because I understand that, many times it's not our fault. Things and circumstances happen. And so, we look for the silver lining in every situation. And sometimes I have found, when we are so deep into our grief, we look around and we think, okay, what could possibly be the silver lining of this situation? What good could possibly come from this? Have you ever been in that spot where you feel like, what good could possibly come out of this? And in those situations, I feel like the silver lining, for me at least, is someday I will use this experience to help another person. Someday, when I've walked through my own hurt, I will have a story to tell that will help another. And I think that's an important silver lining. Nathan, are there any comments that people have been making, or anything anyone wants to share that you want to, any questions or anything?
I'm just seeing a lot of folks saying hello and that you're missed. It's like people like you, which is good. It's good. No, no specific questions right now that I can see. But I will say that what you're talking about with that, that finding that silver lining is tough. You know, I know in week one you asked me about a black dot in my life, and that was when my youngest brother passed away, and I could still see the good in that, there was no real good, but like he was an organ donor, and he was young and relatively healthy, you know, and so he was able to donate to like a dozen people and make their lives better. That was awesome. And it really helped bring some community back together in his town. And just some really unique things happened. But, you know, it's still hard, even in those moments when you see the silver lining, to find that purpose and why that's important. So I think focusing in on that is so powerful, and just focusing on what the good is, even in the junky times.
Yeah. Well, and I appreciate you saying that and sharing that so vulnerably, Nathan, because I feel like it reminds me that, just to clarify the point, that we're not looking at something as more good or more bad. You know, we're not looking at something saying, oh, well, you found the silver lining, so now it's a good thing. No, losing your brother will never be a good thing. But when we can see some of the good that's come out of it, it doesn't make the whole situation good, but it allows us to breathe again, right? Because sometimes the grief is so stifling you can't breathe. So it allows us that space to heal, in whatever way that's possible.
Yeah.
Agree or disagree?
I agree. I mean, I needed that, you know, but I see some comments here too. Barbara said that she has a story that she can share later, and Tracy just said a lot of silver linings coming out of COVID, and I agree. I think there's a lot of powerful things that are happening right now, and this is not a good situation by any stretch of the imagination. But we've touched on it, I think, every week. But like we're all going through the same thing together. We've never had such a point of understanding, and care for our fellow person that I've ever seen in my life. And I think that's just so powerful. So great observation, Tracy.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of compassion that comes out of going through something hard. Compassion for our own weaknesses, but also for the way other people handle things. And I think we're going to see a lot of that, you know, too, as we continue to go. Everybody's kind of doing the best they can do, which is why it's okay to wear sweatpants when you need to.
Always.
All right, the third one so we've talked about expect people to be kind, look for the silver lining in every situation, and verbalize your gratitude. So this is so funny. Did you know that there is a big kind of, or there was before COVID, it's probably died down now, I haven't checked, but there's a big sort of debate online about whether or not we need to say thank you for things. So for instance, a server comes and fills up your glass with water. Do you need to turn and say thank you to them? Or you have been asked by your boss to hand in a particular document, and he wants it by Friday at 5. And so you have it on his desk by Friday at 5. And, you know, do you need a thank you for that? Like, that was your job to get that document there, or it was your job to be filling up a water glass. So are those things that need thanks? So that's the debate online. But the interesting thing is that verbalizing our gratitude means that, number one, somebody hears that you see them. And that's important. We've always talked about that, is to allow people to know that you see them. But also when we verbalize our gratitude, we hear ourselves say it. Someone is doing something for me right now. I see that you're doing something for me. You just took the time to come over here and fill up my water cup. Thank you. And so verbalizing our gratitude is good for other people, because who doesn't want to be appreciated more? Like, Nathan, do you ever feel like, oh, I wish someone would just appreciate what I do in whatever aspect of your life? I mean, you have children, so don't tell me that they say thank you all the time.
They do not. No, they do not say thank you all the time.
Can they talk yet?
Yeah, no, my 3-year-old can't be quiet. That's where we're at.
That's right.
So it's not about if she can talk. It's about if she can stop. And the answer is no, she cannot. And that's fine. But
So every time you do something for her, she of course says, "Thank you, Daddy."
naturally, no, no. And I'll say I really love it when even it's something silly and small or the big things. Obviously, I feel like when I do something big, uh, I almost always get a thank you. But it's those little everyday details where I don't realize how much that affects me until I get someone says thank you, and it makes me like more apt to do those things. But it's even not that it's positive reinforcement per se, but it's more of like that means that what I'm doing, those little things that are junky, like taking out the trash, or for me cleaning up, I get put on we have, my wife calls it the bowl of sin, where we put all the pooped on clothes to soak. Where we go for that, we do those little things. I think that's just, I don't know, those thank yous just go a long way because it's just part of life. It's part of what I do. It's part of being a dad, part of being a person, for a lot of this stuff. But it makes me feel valued. It makes me, yeah. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what it is. It makes me feel valued.
Right.
That those little things add up to something bigger. I don't have to always do something huge to have someone be thankful. And Lisa just commented here. She said, "I don't think we should do things in order to get a thanks, but giving thanks in all things fills our bucket. And when our bucket is full, is full, we spill over to other people." Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. I think I have that comment. Oh, there it is. Yeah. I don't think we should do things in order to get thanks, but giving thanks in all things fills our bucket. Yes. That is 100%. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. I got to pop that off there. Oh, hold on. Technology. Ah! By the way, Nathan, I meant to tell you that you're a new parent, so you don't know this, but when your kids poop on something, you're just supposed to throw it away and then go to the thrift store and buy something new.
Yeah, we can't go anywhere now, so I can't.
No, I'm kidding. We never threw away all of our kids.
We have it's on a real sidebar here. I'm just gonna go off for a second. Like our 5-month-old is a lot bigger than our first one was, so we we had to go and buy some new stuff because all she fits into is like cold ones. She doesn't have any summer clothes that she can fit into.
Oh, yep, I remember those.
Too fast.
Yep.
So now we have to go to a thrift store, but we can't. So Amazon it is. Just kidding. We're doing we've been doing some Amazon though. That's happened.
They can run around in diapers. There's nothing wrong with the little ones just running around just a diaper. That's it.
Yes.
That's all they need. Okay, so we're talking about verbalize your gratitude. I think I've beaten that dead horse enough to tell you, right, that when you verbalize your gratitude, it's good for the other person, but it's also good for you. And a lot of times I've found that people will realize how good it feels, and then they will verbalize their gratitude to somebody else. So it's kind of a continual rotation, and it really helps with becoming a magnet for kindness, because then people oftentimes will notice the things you're doing, and they will be grateful for that. And again, we don't do it for the thanks, but it's nice sometimes to get a thank you. All right, number 4 is smile or get Botox. Okay, I am not even kidding. In 2008, researchers in the United Kingdom noticed a strange phenomenon. They found that they were injecting people with Botox within the forehead, and they found that those people were coming back and reporting elevated levels of happiness. They didn't feel as depressed, and it's not to say that they were depressed in the first place. It's just that they came back feeling so much better about life that researchers thought Botox could be used as an antidepressant, that somehow injecting that Botox into the forehead, into that area, would in fact get to the brain or get to the blood and give us all these happy feelings. Not so. When they did more research on it, what they found was that people were not actually feeling happier because of this chemical. They were feeling happier because of what they called lack of negative mood feedback. negative mood feedback. So basically, it goes back to what we talked about in one of the earlier points about when you expect people to be kind. People mimic what they see on your face. So when someone is smiling at you, you tend to have that smiling expression back to them. When someone greets you like this is generally how you greet them. So think about it in let's say a fast food counter. You go up to the counter and the teenage boy who is the clerk behind the cash register walks up and he says, "Hi, welcome to Culver's." I'll use Culver's because it's my favorite fast food place. "Hi, welcome to Culver's. What can I get you?" And then, my face kind of says, "I'll take a double butter cheeseburger, ketchup, mustard, pickles, and some fries and some custard." So we have this whole interaction that's kind of imagine that same scenario, and you walk in and this teenage boy says, "Hi, welcome to Culver's. How are you today? What can I get you?" Your first response is going to be like, "Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you. I would love a cheeseburger and fries." And, what someone gives to us is often in their facial expression is often what we give back, and vice versa. So, the other thing you do in that situation is then write a note to management and tell them, "Nathan, like, this guy's amazing because he smiled at me," right? That's the power of a smile. Have you ever had that feeling, Nathan, where somebody like smiles at you and you're like, "Oh, I instantly like that person because they are smiling at me"?
I have. And just real quick, I've seen some feedback in the comments that we're having some connection issues, and it sounds like the video might be breaking up for some folks. And it's not. Yeah, Andrea started the train here, so we've got a few other people saying that we're breaking up. So I'm not sure what to do. We could do anything there, but that's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Bummer. I'm not seeing it on my side, but let me.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, in the stream here, but I don't know. It could be Facebook just backing up here too. We'll see.
Okay, and it could be one other thing. There could be people in the Phillips household that are using the internet right now, and so I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to yell to them. Are you ready?
So okay. Ready.
All right. Here's my mute. Okay. It is quiet in my house. No one is on the internet. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I'll just keep looking at the comments here and see if it clears up. I'm also supposed to do a shout out. Apparently it's Ben's birthday today.
Oh, my son is 10 today. Yes. My sweet little 10-year-old. He's fishing with his dad right now. So I know that they are not upstairs on electronics. So that is not the issue here. Tanya says still breaking up. Okay. Well, you know what I'm hoping, Nathan, is this is recorded, and I'm hoping that it's a clear recording so that people can go back and watch if they want. So should we just keep on keeping on, or what do you think?
I think that might be the best, because I think within what we're streaming with, can we save that video? Because that's been clear on this end.
Yep, I think so.
We can, even if it is a little bit blocky on Facebook, we can still finish it up and share it.
Okay. All right. That's good. We'll keep on keeping on then. Yeah. And I apologize to anyone who's getting frustrated with this. Okay. So we talked about smiling or getting Botox, and now we are going to talk about slowing down. When you have to go to the bathroom, when you are very, very hungry, when you are in a rush to pick up your child from somewhere, or you're just trying to shove too many things into too short of a time period, we have a tendency as humans to get a little snippy, right? It's not the space in which we give the most grace, and it's not the space in which we can receive the most grace. And so if you want to draw more kindness into your life, slow down. Take care of yourself and your bodily needs when you need to. If you're thirsty, get a drink. If you have to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. Stop and do those things you need to do so that you are open to really not being preoccupied, but instead being really focused on what's happening around you in that moment. And one of the things I think about a lot is I was at a birthday party and I was the mom who was in charge of going to pick up all the pizzas. And I went through the Little Caesars drive-through, pizza. And they will oftentimes have, the hot and ready pizzas there for you. You can take them and go. And, but in this particular time, I had asked for a lot of pizzas, so I needed to wait for them. And so I was kind of in a hurry because I needed to get back to the birthday party and the other adults who were supervising. But I went up to the drive-thru. I said what I needed to say to the woman who was working there, and can I get these pizzas? And how long is it going to be? And do you want me to pay now? Do you want me to pay later? And then I just stopped and realized, like, it's going to be 10 minutes. Like, there's no way to rush this happening. It's going to take 10 minutes. So I just kind of paused and took a breath. And then I looked in that moment at the woman who was helping me, and she gave me like this little, kind of a sweet little smile. And I looked at her, and when she smiled, her whole face lit up. And I had to tell her that. I said to her in the drive-thru, "Oh, you have such a beautiful smile." And she just kind of was shocked. She did not expect that to come out of my mouth after we were, all the X's and O's we had been going through. And she said, "Thanks. Well, if you want to drive around again in 10 minutes, I'll have your pizzas ready." So I went and I parked in the parking lot, and 10 minutes later, I drove through the drive-thru and picked up my pizzas. But along with the pizzas, I was delighted to find that this young woman had packed up a whole bunch of plates and napkins and all of those things, but she also had cookies in there. And she said, "Oh, I put some cookies in there for free, just for fun." And, that kind of interaction, like, I felt like such a magnet for kindness in that moment. Like, what did I do to deserve this? Nothing. I'm just doing my day and somebody gave me free cookies. This is awesome. But it happened because I slowed down. If I would have been angry about the wait, or, had someplace else to get, or decided to run another errand and then come back, I would have been in too much of a rush to notice how beautiful that young woman is. And so that's why point 5 is just to slow down. Nathan, I'm going to bring you back in here. Is there anything that, any observations you have on that?
Yeah, I don't slow down well, so that one's a little bit that kind of hits home. I'm known to be impatient.
Yeah.
So that one gets me right in the feels. But I agree, though. It's like I mentioned earlier, some things just you can't hurry up with. You just can't do anything with. And when you take time to notice the people around you and the things that are happening, sometimes you, as we talked about last week, you witness something kind, or you get to be part of something that's bigger than yourself, or you just, when you take that time, that stop and smell the roses mentality, there's a reason for that. It's that it helps you appreciate the moment. And I think that we are just so conditioned to go, because I think about it all the time. So when you ask someone how they're doing, there's almost like, "Oh, I'm so busy." And we're all busy because that's how we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be busy.
Right.
If I'm not busy, I'm not doing something right. So
Right.
If I'm not busy, I don't want to tell you that I'm not busy, because then obviously I have time to do something else.
Right.
So slowing down, I that's a skill that is incredibly valuable, but we don't do it well. And I think that you're spot on. We get so much when we take time to pause or take a breath and see what's happening. And I think that story that you just shared was a great example, because like I said, you wouldn't have noticed this person. You couldn't make it go any faster. You could be mad about it, or you could not. It wasn't going to get you there any quicker.
Yeah.
but it affected your attitude then for the rest of the day. And that's sometimes things are out of our control, and that's okay.
Well, and when we talk about being a magnet too in our own home, I know that sometimes, when we get as parents, we're busy on a cell phone, or we're talking to our wife and we're texting somebody back at work and we're doing all of this stuff. And then our little people get frustrated, right? And so all we want is for them to be good or be kind or, whatever, but they get frustrated with us. And really that's when we slow down, we can become a magnet of kindness in our own homes, because our kids, our people get what they need from us, and therefore are not sending negativity toward us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes my 3-year-old, I think she sometimes is with this shift. I'm on a lot of Zoom calls, and sometimes it's hard. It's like, sorry, Dad has to do a call. I need you can't be down here with me. And that's hard because she just wants to be with Mom, or when she's teaching her Pilates class, or with Dad when he's on these calls. A lot of times she can come and hang out. She's way more fun than me anyway. So people like looking at my daughter more than me. I do. It's cute. I did just see a comment here. Kathy shared that her husband just did the drive-through act of kindness at lunch. Went through a fast food drive-through, and the young man was crabby on the speaker. So when he drove up to pick up the food, smiled, thanked him, gave him a $2 tip, and he came home happy himself. I think that's awesome.
I love that. Yes. Yes. Isn't that the essence of kindness? We put out there, but then we get back, and it's, yeah, that's good stuff. Okay. Oh, look at this. So my friend from last week, hi, Nicole, first name is pronounced Aleph. We will work on the last name. Yes, we will work on the last name, but Aleph, hi, I'm so glad you're here again. Last week, I wasn't able to pronounce your name quite right. So thank you for that. That's fun.
Lisa Hunter just shared a comment saying that, I think that God laughs at my plans. I agree. Whenever I have a plan, I know that that's when it's not going to work. I was like, why do I make plans? Because as soon as I think I got it figured out, we're just done.
Yep. Yep. He has a way of slowing us down. Awesome. Look at Andrea. Andrea says, I love this. All of it. I don't know what she loves, but I love that she loves it. So thanks, Andrea. All right. So we are going to talk about the final point here. Getting rid of Nathan there. And well, we're not totally getting rid of Nathan. He's just hanging out over there. All right. Point number 6 is to offer a word of encouragement. And the word I would put at the end of this is daily. Offer a word of encouragement daily. So when you think something good about someone, when they slide through your mind, take the time to actually act on that. And the acting on that can either be saying to someone like the pizza lady, like, your smile is so beautiful, or that color looks great on you, or wow, you're really good at that. Offering that sort of a word of encouragement to others opens our lives up for kindness, because we are looking for people to whom we can offer that word of encouragement. But then we begin to notice the times in which people are offering those words of encouragement to us. And so really, when we talk about all of these things, I'll go through them again. We talked about expecting people to be kind. We talked about looking for the silver lining in all situations. We talked about verbalizing your gratitude. We talked about smiling or getting Botox. And we talked about slowing down. And then this last one was offering a word of encouragement. And so when we put all of those 6 things together and try to live our lives really being aware of others, we become ultra aware of the good ways in which others are treating us. And so it all does come back to what's happening in the mind and that sort of thing, like we've talked about, and the science behind it that we've talked about the last 2 weeks that built up to this. But really, if you want to be a magnet for kindness, if you want to see it in your life and really develop it in your life and cultivate it and make it something that just is an aura that's around you, we can do that. And it starts by us just gently noticing and loving the other people around us so that we can in turn notice the ways in which they're loving us. And, it's the idea of what goes around comes around, but it's a circle of good. It's this whole idea, oops, it's over here. I can't. Kindness is contagious, right? It's that whole idea that what goes around comes around in such a great way. Nathan, I'm going to bring you back up here. What do you want to say about that? Anything or nothing? Now's your chance to tell me I'm crazy.
I don't think you're crazy. I don't think that's the case we've got going on here. No, I think there's something to be, just the way we're programmed as people. You were talking about, I thought about it earlier because it's been a while, but I was a psych major once upon a time. That happened. But as you were talking about like what you see, you respond to, I was thinking we have these things called mirror neurons that fire when we see things. Like we're programmed to mirror what we see. And so when we are going out there and we can be kind and we can model kindness, I've found not just with kindness, but with anything, whatever you're modeling, you often get back because people see it. And I think about in terms of like leadership or just whatever that can look like, just being a person, you don't know the power of the power that you have on someone's day, because we just don't know where they're at. And I think someone said earlier in the comments that you might be the only smile someone sees in a day, and we don't know what that can do for their attitude. We don't know what a couple kind words can create for their household later. So I totally think that's spot on with what you're saying. That it can be contagious. It's just like anything else. We share something, we can be a part of that conversation. We create what we choose in this sense. But on the flip side, we can be affected by negativity too. And so it's hard to actively process and be willing and able to focus on the positives and remain strong in those moments, because it's hard. It's hard to do when life throws you a curveball. It's hard to be positive about that.
Nathan, have I mentioned on any of these calls the idea that there's no such thing as a neutral interaction?
I don't remember if you have.
Okay, well, I'm gonna talk about that for just our last few minutes. But prizes! I would love to give someone a rainy day umbrella, because sometimes rainy days just come, and when they come, I want you to know that I'm thinking about you and that somebody's got you covered. And also, this is my first book, Kindness is Contagious, 100 Stories to Remind You God is Good, and So Are Most People. I have a second book called Kindness is Courageous, but the cover is red, and I felt like the pink umbrella and the red book kind of didn't go nicely together. So we've got this. So I want to, Nathan, ask everyone, the way we're going to pick is by your comments. So I want everyone to make a comment. You can say hello. You can tell me which of those 6 things is your favorite that we've talked about today. You can put anything you want in the comments. You can do an emoji. It doesn't matter. But we're going to do a random number generator based on all of those comments. So now is the time, and I want you to comment for your chance to win the book and the umbrella. And so while you're commenting, Nathan and I are going to continue talking about this idea of this neutral interaction. No such thing as a neutral interaction, right? Okay. So Nathan, I was at a Toby Mac concert once in Fargo, North Dakota. And in this concert, are you with me, Nathan?
I am.
Okay.
Totally here.
Are there important comments I need to be seeing right now? Because you were.
No, I'm trying to figure out if what's going on with the stream a little bit here, and I think everyone's probably behind a little bit, so we might be a little bit till we get to comments.
Oh yeah. Okay, we'll take our time then. Okay.
I was just watching.
You had me worried. I was like, are we not?
Oh no.
Anymore?
Sorry. This is what happens when I even have play me off music this time. I'm ready for you to send me away. So I was prepared.
Oh my gosh. Can we practice the play me off music since we have time?
You ready?
Yeah, I'm gonna send you off, Nathan. I wish I could do like a slow fade away for Nathan, but it's either you're here, you're not. You're here, you're not. Okay. Well, that was fun. Okay, people are hopefully beginning to leave their comments so they can win. But I was at this Toby Mac concert, and what he said was that there's no such thing as a neutral interaction. So basically what that means for all of you watching this and listening to this is that you either are having a positive interaction with someone or a negative interaction with someone. When you go into the grocery store and when you go into the grocery store and the clerk says, you know, hi, how's your day going? And you say, great, how's your day? And she says, well, it's okay. You know, we're getting through there. You know, the sun's shining though. And I'm going to have a nice time when I get off my shift today. You walk out and you feel a connection with that person. And it's not even whether the words were positive or negative. It's the fact that you connected with a person. And so the idea being that if you go up to that same clerk and you don't make eye contact, for you, it might seem like no big deal. Like I'm just getting my groceries and leaving. But for that person who was in front of you, you know, if that happens over and over and over and over again in a day, they leave feeling pretty defeated. And so that's the idea of we have the opportunity in every interaction to either add a little bit of light and brightness to someone's day or to absolutely feed into the darkness and to that negativity that's underlying it. And so that's the idea, Nathan, behind, you know, having a positive or negative interaction, but, you know, really that if you want to just walk around all the time and just be neutral and be neutral in your face and neutral in your body language and neutral in your words, you're really not being neutral at all. You're going to come across as having negativity for a lot of people. And so
I think about social media in that you like if you or even just a text message, if you I use too many emojis because I want people to know that I'm not upset or anything. And so sometimes I look at it and, you know, if you can't see the person and you don't know the tone, you naturally assume it's negative. That's been my experience, unless you really know that person. Yeah, that's what I think.
This is me. I like to use exclamation points like, hi, exclamation point. How are you? I can't wait to see you, exclamation point. You know, like I just feel the need to tell everybody like, yeah.
You know, I did have a question that came up in a message, not on the in the chat here, but could you share ways that people connect with you, and also if you have a favorite way that people can spread the message of kindness, or that you yourself even spread that message? Like, what do you have?
So for people to connect with me, I have a website and I put everything I do basically on the website every week. So we've got a different thing every day, but you can go to the website. That's NicoleJPhillips.com. Or, you know, Facebook. I have a public Facebook page. That's Nicole J. Phillips. I would love to get your emails. That's info@NicoleJPhillips.com. info@NicoleJPhillips.com. And, you know, Facebook Messenger isn't super reliable. For some reason, when people direct message me on social media, sometimes I don't find those. I lose them. So email is a better better bet. But I will tell you that if you email me or you do send a private message on any social media, I will respond to you, or someone from my team will respond to you. So if you don't hear back from us, it's because we have not received it. Okay. So I don't want anyone out there to feel like, oh, they heard me and I just didn't care. Yeah, we will respond. So please, try to reach out a different way if that doesn't work. And as far as what I would love to see people do right now, as far as adding more kindness into the world, if you are on Facebook and you're a person who generally doesn't comment or post anything, be a person who adds a little extra light. Or if you're a person who does comment and post and you share a lot of heavy opinions, that's awesome to have those opinions, but add some brightness and some positivity into that space as well, because I feel like social media is such an important place for us to gather, especially right now. But it's also a place where we need to add more light, more positive interactions with people, and a lot of kindness can spread through that. Does that answer your question, Nathan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure does.
Okay. So do we have comments here from people who are they still coming in? Somebody says,
yeah, we're starting to get them. I think we were about, looks like probably 3 minutes behind on the stream or more. So we're finally getting them to come in.
Okay.
So I did have a request. I know we're probably going to be a little tardy to the party for that, to share the 6 things one more time.
Oh, sure. Yep.
From your mom.
Oh, it is from my mom. I was like, what's that from? Yeah, Mom, you can also just call me and I'll tell you them. The first is to expect people to be kind. The second is to look for the silver lining in every situation. The third is to verbalize your gratitude. The fourth is to smile, or as I like to say, get Botox, but smiling is good. The fifth is just to slow down. And the sixth is to offer a word of encouragement daily to someone. Be able to lay your head on the pillow at night and know that that you encouraged someone that day. So we have Nathan's going to have an automated number generator thingy.
It's generated. I've counted them. I've got the person now. But there could still be comments coming in after this because we're a little delayed. But just to stay kind of on point here, I do have one.
Okay. Hold on. I'm going to give a disclaimer. If this is a member of my kindness team,
I don't think it is.
It isn't?
I don't think it's a member of your kindness team.
Or a relative. No relatives of mine or members of kindness teams can win, because I can send you a book anyway. Okay.
The number that I had, as I count through these comments, landed on Lisa Hunter. Is she
Lisa Hunter?
And I think Lisa's been a part of. I think Lisa's been part of every one of the ones we've done. So awesome to see her be one.
Yay! I'm so glad for you, Lisa. How fun, she says. So Lisa, you are not a relative and you are not part of my kindness team, for me. So therefore, we need you to private message us your address. So Nicole J. Phillips is my Facebook page. So you can message through that. Or again, the email is info, I-N-F-O, at NicoleJPhillips.com. All good, Nathan?
Yep.
All right.
We had someone ask when the next session was, and I think that was your mom again. But I said, just telling them that this is our last one. So the last one.
Yes. And can I put a quick plug in for the Kindness Podcast?
Yes.
Okay. So on May 5th, I believe is May 5th, next Tuesday already, Nathan?
Yeah.
I should have had that up. Yeah. Next Tuesday at noon, I am going to do a Kindness Podcast live. So it's a live interview where I interview someone who's got something awesome going on in the world of kindness. So that's going to happen noon on Tuesday, May 5th. And then the rest of the Tuesdays in in May. That will happen as well. So kind of fun. I don't generally do those podcasts live where I can see the person. They're generally just a regular podcast where I speak and it's recorded and it's on, NPR or wherever. But this is going to be live on Facebook. So that'll be fun.
Awesome.
Yep. Okay, Nathan, do you want to tell people one last thing about Lost and Found or anything you want to mention?
I just, like I said, if you want to know what we've got going on, you can check out our Facebook page, Lost and Found, all squished together. The ampersand, there's no spaces on either side. But we're just in this space trying to help make our world a better place through what we do. We'd like to get to a point where we give people the skill sets that they need to handle the things that life throws at them. And yeah, we just we're going to keep doing the work we're doing, and we're going to be online for a while. So feel free to check in, follow us. I think next week we'll do some throwbacks to our series that we've done thus far, so people can review those and check those out. But I'm just thankful that we were able to work with you, Nicole. This has been a lot of fun. It's been really good. I think I feel like I've learned a lot each week, and I've gotten feedback from others on our Lost and Found team, as well as just people in our community who have really enjoyed this. So I thank you for that. And yeah, we're going to keep doing what we do. And if anyone wants to do a virtual 5K, I'll post that in the comments here. Let me find it. But if you want to do a virtual 5K this weekend, I'm gonna push that one more time, because I'd love to see. It's an excuse to get out now that I don't know where everyone's at, but we're in South Dakota and it's finally nice-ish. So
yeah,
I'm doing it. Half the reason I'm doing it is just to get out and be outside in the niceness. So
it's for a great cause. So I'll be doing it Sunday too, so everybody can.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to talk about Lost and Found, if you work at a college, or you're working with young adults, or you're not working with young adults, and you just want to talk about what we do, feel free. I've been commenting in the chat with my name specifically. Feel free to send me a message. Happy to talk to you about that. And yeah, we love what we're doing. We think it's important, and we're gonna keep on keeping on.
So Nathan, that it's not a Christian organization, but since this is our third time together, would you mind if I said a quick prayer?
That's fine.
Okay. All right. So anybody who doesn't want to pray, that's okay. You can leave, or you can just sit there. But I'm going to say a quick prayer over all of you, because I just feel led to do that. Father, I thank you so much that you would bring Nathan and me together, that you would connect us and allow us to share our passion and our love for people with other people. And God, as the group is called Lost and Found, we know that there are so many right now that feel just so lost, and they need to be found, God. They need to know that they are seen. They need to know that they are loved. They need to know that you have a plan for their life and a purpose for their life, much greater than anything that we could imagine for ourselves. And so I just ask, God, in this moment, that you would touch each one of these beautiful people that has been with us in these hours, and that you would touch them and you would remind them, God, that they are your vessel, that they are needed. They're an essential person on this planet, and help them, wrap them up in your loving arms. In Jesus' name, amen. Thanks, Nathan.
Thanks.
Okay, well, Lisa Hunter, I'm going to send out a book to you. Everybody else can order it on Amazon. And Nathan, I thank you so much for the great work you are doing with Lost and Found.
Thanks.
All right. Have a great day, everybody.